What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Red Dead Redemption mystery video. Today, we have a very interesting video for you today. So, I hope you got your snacks ready. I hope you got a drink ready or you got some time to kill because this is going to be a pretty drawn out mystery here. It's the mystery of the Watson gang. Now, the Watson cabin can be found close to Wallace Station. A little bit later on in the vehicle, I'm going to show you the exact spot where to find this cabin. When you first come to this cabin, you see Mama Watson sitting inside of the cabin. But the first time that I showed up to this cabin, there was no one there. So I walked around making sure that I was right to see about, the emptiness of the cabin. And I already did some research on this mission already. Well, not mission, but this side quest, if you want to call it that. And I was told that there are things to loot inside of the cabin. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go in here and just see if I can loot anything. Also, I'm trying to figure out why the lady has not spawned it where she's supposed to be spawning right there in the seat to go through the regular dialogue. I'm trying to understand why this is not happening. So I'm like, let me go see if the shotgun is at least down in the basement, and let's see if I can at least get the shotgun too. So I go down into the cellar to see if I'm gonna be able to get the shotgun out of the cellar. And sure enough, when I walk over to the case, it gives me the option to take the shotgun out of the case. Okay, I take the shotgun out of the case. The shotgun needs to clearly be cleaned because it's just been sitting inside of a dirty case or whatever. After I do a little bit of looking around, I open it up. I pick up a semi-automatic shotgun, which, it's a free shotgun. If you had to buy it at the store, you may pay like $15 for it. So, hey, why not get it while it's free? And also, again, like I just mentioned, clean it up to make sure that I will be able to use it in case I do have to use it. If I go back upstairs and the next thing you know, somebody pops up here and I'm in the middle of a combat situation. But I'm still trying to figure out why I'm not getting the mission the way that I saw it being done when I looked up the mission. And I figured it was probably due to the fact that at this time I was being wanted by bounty hunters. So I believe that's probably why the mission didn't spawn, because I was being wanted by bounty hunters. So I just, again, continue to completely empty out the cabin and take everything that I can take out of there, just in case I'm not able to do the mission. I can at least get something out of this, get something out of wasting my time coming to this cabin and not seeing anything or not knowing what's there and not knowing what's going on. I said, whatever. She got some jewelry here. And then I see this picture. The photo is of Mama Watson and her 4 sons. And you see Mama Watson is quite a girl. She got the shotgun in her lap. She got her 4 sons standing around her. Reminds me of the story about Ma Baker. I don't know if you know who Ma Baker is. I'm actually showing Ma Baker on the screen right now and her 4 sons, but they were after this time period, which this is 1899. So Ma Baker and her boys was after this time period. So I show up a couple of days later. I slept for a couple of days and I see a jackass sitting outside, a donkey for people who don't want to call him a jackass. And I'm like, okay, I know she's supposed to have a donkey. That's probably why she wasn't here the first time. She's got to be in here this time. So as I sit and I look and I start to walk up to the cabin, you can actually hear her coughing. Now, that cough is somewhat of the same cough you hear Arthur have later on in the game. So we know what comes with that cough. You understand? So basically, we believe, or I believe, that this lady is probably suffering from the same illness that Arthur is suffering from. And that's why she has this cough. So we go ahead, we walk in the door, and she mistakes us for someone that's supposed to be dropping off something and putting it inside the cellar. She doesn't know who we are. She confuses us with one guy who may be another guy, blah, 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 different things of that nature. So she tells me, go ahead in the cellar and drop off what I came to drop off, and then make sure I get out of there. And I don't take my time down there, searching for anything else. What I find interesting is I was able to come back into this house when the mission finally queued up, and I was able to take everything I had took the first time when it was empty. So if you're lucky enough to do this while it's empty, you can actually take everything and then come back when you queue the mission up, and you could take everything again. I was surprised to also find that the shotgun was still inside the case, which is interesting, because you would think because I took it before, the shotgun would be gone. No, I came back and the shotgun is there again. So I said, hey, whatever, because see, you got to walk upstairs with the shotgun so that she can see that you were actually trying to steal something from her. Now, this is the correct way to do the mission. You want her to see that you stole something, but you don't want to kill her, because there's a caveat to this mission. And if you kill her, you won't be able to get paid what you're going to get paid double for actually doing this mission. So she gets pissed after she sees that I stole something. She gets upset with me, and basically telling me, you don't know who I am, and you don't know who you're dealing with, and different things of that nature. So I try to straddle her and hog tie her up, because I don't want her to chase me up out of the house. So I have to kill her because she's chasing me out. So I hog tie her up to actually throw her back on the bed so I don't have to worry about her chasing after me. Now, we know sometimes these people can get out of the rope. So once I took her inside the bedroom and threw her on the bed, I hurried up out of there, so that I can actually get away, so she won't have no time to pick up anything and actually come after me, because this is a very ruthless lady. You understand what I'm saying? She takes no prisoners, as you'll see later on in the video. So I go outside and I say, you know what, just for fun, I'm not going to get on my horse. I'm going to jump on her ass. Not literally jump on her ass, I'm going to figuratively jump on her ass and get up out of here, because I just want to see. And this donkey is pretty fast, guys, as you see. This donkey, I'm getting up out of here. I wouldn't mind having this donkey to move around with throughout the whole rest of the game if I could. I believe you actually could. Here I'm showing you actually where the cabin is located real quick. As you see, it's right there, right across from Wallace Station, right above where it says River at. So now I go back, and when I go back, she's actually talking to her sons. Her sons are there this time. They don't know that I'm here. So you have to do the mission the way that I did it. You go there, you act like you stole something, you wait a couple days, you come back, and when you come back, her sons are there. Now, when you see that her sons are there, you'll see that I'm just sitting out there waiting for the dialogue to see what they're talking about. Are they talking about murders? Are they talking about robberies that they've done? What are they talking about? And what is up with this gang? What's, actually going on with them? And then the dialogue cut short. So I say, you know what? I can't sit out here and wait for too much more dialogue. I don't got all day to be trying to wait for them to say something that's very important or something that helps us out, because they've already said enough to let us know that they're just in there basically getting chewed out by their mother. So I said, okay, let me let a shot off. And when I let a shot off, they said, what's that? So I had to start busting caps on everybody. Once you actually shoot her sons, she responds to that. You kill her son, and, she see my boys. Oh, my God. She's going to kill us. She's, going to tear us up and this and that and the third. So there's 4 of them in there. So I shoot 2 of them. I shoot one in the doorway. I'm about to die, so I had to get out of there and get a better vantage point. And then he comes out the house. Once he comes out the house, that's when I can basically take him out the way that I need to. Use a little bit of shot precision. And then next thing you know, she's really angry now, telling me she's going to chase me down to the end of the world and this and that. I'm just trying to run and not kill her. Again, because if you kill her, you can't get the third part of this mission. I'm just trying to get away from her so I can queue up coming back in 2 days. Because when you come back in 2 days, there's another thing to the mission. And as I'm trying to come back in 2 days and trying to find somewhere to camp, she's actually chasing me. She's not giving up. She is chasing me down, really trying to do what she said she was going to do, and that's hunt me down for the rest of my life. And I'm like, God damn, this lady is really vicious. I'm going to go on the record to say she's more vicious than her sons because she was not giving up. I said, damn, how am I going to get away from this lady? Because my horse, remember, was back there. I ran away from her and I left my horse. So I just tried to run as far away as I can. And that didn't help. I couldn't get away from her. She just was right on me. And never mind the fact she had her own damn horse. I didn't even see a horse when I was there. I didn't see her have a horse, but somehow she got a horse to come after me. So I said, you know what? I believe she actually had my damn horse. Wait a minute. I believe she actually took my horse. She actually took my horse, jumped on my horse to chase me, to come kill me. So oh, no, that's not my horse. Okay, it's her horse. I don't know where she got the horse from. I ain't seen no black horse up there. Remember, we only saw the donkey up there. Now all of a sudden she got a horse. So remember, I can't kill her, so I lasso her again so that I can bring her back home. Because remember, I need to go through the 3rd phase of this mission. And in order to go through the 3rd phase of this mission, you cannot kill her. Then all of a sudden, my horse appears. I don't know where the hell my horse came from. Because as you've seen, I was just running through the valley. So I finally get her back home. And when I get her back home, I take her off of the back of Secretariat. And I say, let me go in here and throw her in the bed so we can go through the 3rd phase of this mission. And get this, mission finally complete. And let's see what happens when I take her back home and throw her in the bed and this and that. So we get there. She's not saying anything. She's quite calm. So what's going to happen is I'm going to throw her in the bed and I'm going to go through the procedure of doing what you're able to do if you were to kill her along with her sons, right? So if you were able to kill her along with her sons, you can loot the sons, and then you can loot the lockbox that they have there at the house. So that's actually what I'm doing now. So this whole entire mission, I'm actually able to loot this whole cabin 4 or 5 different times. So I got paid a lot of money from this mission alone. So the whole time I'm in here doing what I'm doing, cleaning up, she's in there squirming and getting mad. So again, I don't want her to have to get loose and I have to wind up killing her because she got loose. So I hurried up and got what I had to get again and hurried up to get out of the cabin so that she doesn't get loose and I actually have to kill her or lasso her again and just waste so much time. So I ran away from the house as far as I can and basically waited a couple of days. Came back in a couple of days to do the 3rd part of this mission. Now, when you come back after the third time, you actually come back and everything in the cabin is there again. Everything that you took before is there. And then there's a letter on the table. The letter on the table shows that Edgar Watson escapes from jail. Now, that was not there, as you've seen when we was there, when I bought it there before. So one of her sons was actually wanted for $500. I said, damn, what would happen if I had found out who Edgar was, didn't kill him, and then brought him to, to jail. We probably would have got $500, but I didn't do that. Maybe one of you guys can do that. Figure out what happened if you actually take the sons in, see if you can get a reward. So I walk into the room, and then boom, there she goes. She's in the bed, under the cover, and she's dead. This is the third part of it. So if you don't kill her when you first see her, right? You leave out of the house, then you come back in a couple of days. Her sons show up, then you kill her sons, not her. Then you leave her at the house on her own, come back in a couple of days, and she's dead. Eventually dying from, I believe, what we die from. I believe it's tuberculosis. Yeah. So she eventually dies basically from what we die from later on in the game. And this is it. And you're able to loot the cabin once again, and get the same items you got the first time that you came around. And see, I was able to get it, like I said, 3 or 4 different times because I came here so many times due to the fact that the first time she was not here. So I'm not showing it, but I also went in the basement and got the shotgun again, got the jewelry again, got the bracelets again, got the rings, got everything I got before I was ready to leave up out of this cabin, guys. So this mission in all, if you do it the way that I'm showing you to do it, you're probably not going to show up here and she's not here. You're probably not. But as the reason why I put that in the beginning was so that you could see you could still loot the cabin and get everything you want to get. And also when you come back, all of the stuff that you looted before will still be there. Now, if you do what I just did, killing her sons, running away, you understand what I'm saying? And bringing her back to the cabin, you get to loot the cabin for a third time. Then, as you see, you come back the 2 days later and she's dead. Now you're looting the cabin again. So you get to loot this cabin every time that it respawns. Now, if I was to come back to this cabin, let's say I come back to this cabin later on in the game, would you be able to loot this cabin once again? I doubt it. Would she be in that bed? Probably, because who knows that she's dead? Who? Nobody is around anymore. All her sons are dead. She's dead. The only persons who would probably come around is those people who was initially supposed to bring whatever they were supposed to bring for her when she told you to go into the basement to find it. Them may be the people who may find her, who may initially wind up or end up burying her. I might actually come back to this cabin sometime later and upload that and do an extension to this video to let you know what actually happened. If I came back sometime later, is she actually in the bed still? Is she gone? Because see, if you was to kill her and her sons was, not there, and then you come back some days later, her sons would be there and she would be buried in the backyard. And then you would fight them, and then you wouldn't go, be able to go back and get what you're getting now, as you see what I'm doing in this third time back. You wouldn't be able to do that because you killed her. So it's so many different ways that you can do this. And I actually sat here and showed you all of the different ways that you can do it. So I apologize for this video being so long. Hopefully I didn't get too long-winded. Hopefully I made sense actually explaining this to you as well, because it took me a nice amount of time to figure out this mystery and to get this mystery done. So the mystery of the Watson gang, who were they robbing? What would they want it for? It doesn't actually say. And the only way we would have found that out is if we actually took the Watson boys to the sheriff to find out what they were wanted for. But hey, as you see, the Watson gang is no more. The sons are dead. Mom is dead. We got everything we can get out of this cabin. We got everything we can get from this mystery. What else is out there for us to discover? What other mysteries are out there for us to uncover. Who knows? Well, there you go. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.